Prepare for FIFA 17 by loading up on FIFA points ready at ufifa.com using the code TVM at checkout. You can also get coins for FIFA 16 over there as well, so you can build the squads you never got a chance to throughout the year. Link down below. Go check them out. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome to another episode of the Valencia Career Mode, the over-the-top Valencia Career Mode. Thank you very much for the support on the first episode, of course. We are going to now kick things straight off again in the transfer window, and we are going to accept the deal. 4.1 million for our backup centre-back, really, Ruben Vezo. I could try and counter this, but I'm just going to accept it. 4.1 million is more than enough for him. Don't even know who he is, so just take it and go. We have sold someone for 170. Kurt Zuma has accepted the contract, very cheap contract as well, £60,000 a week, 15 million, and he is now part of the Valencia setup, which I'm very happy about as well because he's a very good centre-back. We've obviously sold a few, so he'll slot straight into the back line there alongside Abdenor, and Santos will drop to the bench. He will now be the backup centre-back for this side, so I'm going to put him in there instead of Sequeira. And there we go. That's pretty much the side the way it looks at the moment. The back four looking very solid, not very high rated, I admit, so obviously if I do end up simming the odd game, we're probably going to lose because it'll probably go on rating. We do need to fix the midfield. I don't really want Fuego here anymore. Enzo Perez is the only player I'd like to keep. Villalba's decent off the bench, but he's not going to ever set the world alight. And of course our strike options. Al Sommer, new signing, quite happy with that. We've brought in Felipe Anderson as well. Fuguli I'm still trying to get rid of, but if we have to keep him, then it's no bad thing. And we have Rodrigo on the bench as well. But again, I would like to get a right wing and maybe two centre midfield players before the season starts proper. Rayo Vallecano, our first game, is approaching very, very quickly. We have a transfer offer for Diego Alves. That is pretty much not going to happen unless they offer me 25 million. If you can offer me 25, then just go for it, mate. You know, I'll take that. We'll go after De Gea or something. But he's one of my main players there, so probably not. They've actually accepted Jermaine Jones for $1 million. If I can, I tell you what, if I can get him, 25 grand is more than worth it. He only wants a year contract. I won't give him a specific squad role. We'll just give him 1 year on his contract and see what he says. And they want 23 million for Juan Cuadrado. Well, on your bike, Juventus. Okay, so our first game of the season is against Rayo Vallecano. Now, I'm not going to play this. I am going to sim it basically until the transfer window is done. In goal, we've got Diego Alves, Bellerin, Zuma, Abdenor and Lyon are the defenders. We've got Enzo Perez, Villalba and Fuego, a very weak midfield, if I do say so myself. And then we've got Fuguli and Felipe Anderson, the wingers. That's very strong. And, of course, Al Sommer up front. We've got a pretty strong bench, to be fair. Marcus Rashford, Piatti, Santos, Zahibo, Rodrigo, Gaia, and Ryan on there. And we're going to let this play out in its entirety and see if we can get ourselves a couple of goals. I'd be very disappointed if we don't win this, as Bebe opens the scoring against us. We do need a new midfield. It needs to be bolstered somewhat. So if we do lose, I'm going to put it down to that. On obviously the ratings of the centre-backs and everything, or the defence in general, just isn't that high. If I was to play with it, it would obviously feel a lot better and we would probably win the game. But won't be doing that for the time being. And we've lost 2-0. Guerra off the bench makes it 2. That's not a good start to proceedings, is it? Let's be honest with each other. They have offered 23 million for Diego Alves. That is so tempting, you would not even comprehend. Player sold. We have got rid of Vezo for 4.1. I've put a few offers in for goalkeepers. Basically, goalkeepers I know full well are better than Diego Alves. So obviously, Joe Hart, they want 34.5 million for him, which is just never going to happen. They want 61 million for Courtois, and they want 68 million for David De Gea. And Jermaine Jones has rejected a contract. He needs to understand the role that he will have at the club. I would say important first team player, if you are willing to accept that, of course. We'll see what happens there. Let's offer him another contract and see where we lie. The goalkeeper situation, though, we may have to reject it and just keep what we have, because I'm not spending an extra 10 million on top of what we'll get for Diego Alves on Joe Hart. I don't think that's even remotely worth it. If I could get Joe Hart for 28 million, for instance, that would be worth it. An extra 3 or 4 million for a goalkeeper who's 2 years younger and 1 rating better. We'll see where we lie in a second when we get that back. They've accepted the Joe Hart offer, and Jermaine Jones has accepted his contract as well, which is really good. He's 33, and a lot of you may be moaning that, oh, we know I'm not planning for the future or anything, but I'm only really going to be doing this for 2 seasons, and then I'm going to be buggering off to FIFA 17 anyway, so it's not that big a deal. We do have a contract we can offer Joe Hart now. Obviously, he's going to want a massive wage, which is fine, because we're going to get a lot of wages back from Diego Alves as well, though, so that's okay. Crucial first team player, 160,000, 2-year contract. Let's go, Josephine Hart. As soon as he accepts that deal, though, we're going to, I'm going to go and accept the, I'm going to go accept 23 million for Diego Alves right now. I need to get rid of him because I keep going to call him Danny Alves anyway, so we need to get rid of him regardless. Joe Hart has declined the contract. So he's going to want more money, essentially, which is a bit of a pain in the tits, really, because I didn't want to offer him any more money than what I've already given him. We'll go up 10k and see if he accepts that. 10,000. We've sold Diego Alves straight away. What I should have done was maybe waited a little bit more, but I didn't want to wait for the deal to disappear, because that has happened to me before. So I want to wait. We could go after Julio Cesar, though. That's a very good option. Benfica have rejected Julio Cesar. Okay. Wolfsburg have said that Luis Gustavo is worth 26. Joe Hart has declined another contract. Maximilian Meyer is worth 19 million, and Chananoglu is worth pretty much the same as well. This is taking the piss a little bit, Josephine. You are very much taking the piss. Okay, we're going to go up here. Crucial first team, 2 years, 20% clean sheet bonus, and £180,000 a week, which is far too much for you, Joe, but I'm willing to do it for the sake of the video. Maximilian Meyer would be one sexy player, but I'm telling you now, I'm not spending £19 million on him. If we can get him for 15, decent deal. Decent. Let's see where we are. Come on. Joe Hart needs to accept. Joe Hart's declined. Well, we're not going after Joe Hart then. He's pissing me off. They've accepted 15 million for Meyer, and he only wants 70k on his wages, which is awesome. He's going to get a crucial first team player spot as well. Jermaine Jones, I think, rejected his contract, didn't he? Oh, wow, he's actually accepted the contract. Taking the comment section on board as well for some of the players that we could go after in a second. I just wanted to bolster the midfield a little bit. So there we go. Boom. Maximilian Meyer is now one of our players. And we are going to watch this one through again. And I'm hoping that we can get a better result than what we got in the last one. Enzo Perez misses a penalty in the 2nd minute, which is a bit annoying because I had over 0.5 first half goals. So come on Valencia, I've got money riding on this. There you go, Maximilian Meyer on his debut. Faguli with a quick fire double as well. So that's 2-0 going into the second half. 25 minutes left on the clock. We are leading comfortably, having missed a penalty as well. Carney grabs one back. Can we cling on to this? Yes, we were comfortable and we made it difficult for ourselves towards the end, but we did come out with a victory. That is our first 3 points of the season. Don't mind if I do. And this is deadline day. I'm going to skip forward an hour here. I've put a lot of offers, or inquiries rather, into goalkeepers, so we'll see what comes back in a second. So Anthony Lopez, way out of my price range. Tim Krul, 9 million. Karius, they want 21.5. I've had an offer rejected for Farman. I put in like a low ball offer. They want 31.5. Same deal for Leno. And of course I've had an offer for Ruffier rejected because that's too low. I'm tempted to go after Tim Krul here. I don't know what the rating of Tim Krul is going to be. Probably not that great. But like I said, it's me playing, right? So long as the goalkeeper is okay, I don't mind so much. So 6.5 million means we'll have about 70 million free to go and spend in other areas. Now, other areas we need to improve. Again, I still want to improve the midfield because Fuego needs to get out of there. So I want to go for a big name midfield player, and I may even want to bring in a big name striker as well. We've got Al Sommer, but having said that, he's not quite, I mean, he's good as a backup maybe, but he's not quite that main catalyst player that I kind of wanted. The team isn't looking as great as I want it to, don't get me wrong. There's some areas in there, I like the whole defence, I like it. The other areas I'm not too confident about. We have a lot of money, so let's go try and spend some. So a lot of you in the comment section wanted me to go for young players, Daniel Armity, whatever his name is, and all those type of players. You know, I'm not in it for the long haul, so it's not really worth me getting someone who's not that great now but will turn into an amazing player. I want people who are going to be good right from the get-go. So it's kind of like the people I've been going for now. I've just noticed that pretty much every offer, though, has been unacceptable. We do have an offer here for Piatti from Real Sociedad, interestingly enough. I will counter that, though, and see if they'll offer me 9.5 for him. Because he's not going to be used in the team anyway, so if I can get 9.5 for him, that's great. If not, then we may be able to use it as a counterweight. I went after William Carvalho, and they want 19.5 million. But I offered... I also offered a player, and I can't remember which player I offered, but I offered a player as well. I went for Iniesta, and again I offered a player. I went for Oscar, and again I offered a player. I went for Felipe Coutinho, didn't offer a player, just offered 30 million. They wanted 53. I've gone in with an offer for Marco Verratti of 30 million. That's been accepted. That would be a very good deal because he's already 84 rated, but he's only 23. So over the next season or two, he will go into a really nice player. And I know that kind of contradicts what I was just saying about how I want a player who's going to go into... I don't really want a player who's going to go into something amazing. He needs to be amazing straight away. Verratti's already better than all of my midfield, and he will only get better over the coming season. So that's a good, it's a good place to be. Paul Pogba, they want 70 million, and they want 24 million for Lucas, the right wing. They want 9 million for Tim Krul, regardless of what happens. So let's go back and offer 8 million for Tim Krul and see if we can get him for 8 million. I know it's only scraping $1 million off, but $1 million could make all the difference toward the end of this. I will go for Verratti. Like I said, 84 rated. He's only 22. If we can get him for that, then that would be absolutely fantastic. I've always loved Marco Verratti. Really good player. I say that I've always loved him. Like in FIFA, I've always liked him, but I hate him at the same time. He's so frustrating, but he just pops up with goals all over the place. Sometimes his touch can be a bit poor, but he just pops up with goals. I want to skip forward one more hour. I won't do this again because we need to use our time very, very wisely here. But we've had... Verratti has declined the contract. Newcastle have accepted the 8 million deal for him. I just need to get these wages spot on now. I think what I'm going to do is offer him 85. Get that all the way up there. 3 years and a crucial first team because he will be my main goalkeeper for the coming season. Or at least until January. He's declined because he wants more money, obviously. Well, I'm not going to be... I can't afford to be picky about this. I'm just going to offer the max that I have. Or not necessarily max that I have. There you go. 130k. 4 years. Crucial first team. 20% bonus on goals. And there we have it. Transfer offer. They've offered 6.5 million for Piatti, which I'm going to hold off on a sec because I'm going to go back into the market here and see if I can get a right wing and maybe swap Piatti and use him as a bit of a counterweight in order to get the player. Not quite sure who I'm going to go for yet, though. A couple of offers floating around for right wings, centre midfield players, strikers, etc. We've got 6 hours left of the window. I've put an inquiry in for Ben Yedder, interestingly enough. We've got an offer been put in here for Lacazette. I put Piatti and 17 million forward. They want 36.5. Bayern Munich. I put an offer in for Arjen Robben. They've just straight up said no. I put an offer in for Gareth Bale. They want 52.5. That's not too bad, actually. We could actually go for a Gareth Bale here. And Verratti has declined yet another contract. We are going to accept the Tim Krul deal, though. So he is now officially a part of our club, which is big news for us because we needed that goalkeeper, and I'm going to put him straight into the starting lineup right now. 78 rated, exactly the same as Ryan, to be fair, so maybe we didn't need to get him. Maybe Ryan was good enough, but I know Tim Krul and I know that he makes some fantastic saves. So at the moment, that's the side, which doesn't look too bad going into the new season. However, we do have 70-something million left to spend and 6 hours left of the window. 5 hours left of the window, and we have a couple of bits of good news, actually. Very good bit of news. I put an offer in for 10 million for Ben Yedder. That's been accepted. We have a 27 million pound deal plus Piatti for Lacazette, which has been accepted, which would actually make more sense than Ben Yedder at this point. And we do have the Verratti deal, which is he's being very stubborn at the moment. 140 was my last offer. Now we're going to go for 150. I'm actually tempted just to bump that up to 160 just to try and get it done a little bit quicker. he's worth it. It's just a pain in the tits that he's not just accepting it. So we could go after Lacazette, or we could go after Ben Yedder. Lacazette would be the better player. Ben Yedder would allow money for something maybe in January to happen. I'm going to offer contracts to both of those players and see which one bites and which one doesn't. And then we'll see where we are. The problem I have is, of course, I think I've already offered a crucial first team to Al Sommer, so he may get a bit unsettled, but he can go in January if he wants to anyway, if he's going to kick up a fuss about it. So he wants 110, I'm going to offer him 140. In fact, screw it, we'll offer 150 just to be on the safe side. 3 years, crucial first team. Lacazette would be an amazing signing for us if we could get him. Ben Yedder would be good, but Lacazette would be fantastic. And obviously we need Verratti to confirm his contract as well. We've only got a couple more chances at this, to be fair, before we run out of time. Ben Yedder is accepted, Verratti is accepted, and so is Lacazette, Jesus Christ. Okay. And apparently Barcelona are moving for Pogba. Okay, so Verratti we're going to accept, because that's the one that we want more than anything. So bang, Marco Verratti is now a Valencia player. The question I have now, or yeah, see, I can't sign both of them. If I could sign both, it wouldn't be that big a deal. And I would probably just get Lacazette and Ben Yedder. But at the moment, I can only get one or the other. And I don't know how good Ben Yedder actually is. Okay, so as expected, Ben Yedder is not as good as Lacazette. He is 78 rated. He goes up to an 82 over time. Of course, he's only 25, so I think what I need to do here is just get Lacazette. It has to be done. I think a lot of people in the comments probably would have said, hey, go for Ben Yedder. In fact, I got the idea for Ben Yedder from the comment section, as I did Lacazette. Shaqiri was one that kept popping up. Go after Shaqiri. Shaqiri would be great. Go for Shaqiri. I can't get him because he's only recently moved, so that was the reason why I couldn't go for him. But Lacazette is now a Valencia player. We're going to have to say no, unfortunately, to Ben Yedder. There you go. That is the side right there. Hopefully, you're happy with the signings that I've made. I think Verratti would be a very good player. Felipe Anderson has just gone to an 80 rated. We've got Zuma very close to an 80 as well. I'm going to start doing player training on a couple of players just to boost their ratings a bit quicker. But for the most part, that's going to be the team going in for for the season until January. And then in January, if I'm not feeling it, we'll try and ship out a few of the players that just aren't cutting the mustard. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Valencia over-the-top career mode, then do me a favour and smack that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have done so. Thank you very much for watching. As always, till the next time, goodbye.